We're going to read a kinna tomorrow on this story, but I wanna read this story to the Chevra. I look at this Gemara like we're getting closer to Chatzos, and the morning intensifies as you get closer to Tisha B'Av. We're holding today Erev Tisha B'Av, and the halachas are going to start to intensify. This Gemara brings me personally. This is a Gemara probably more than any other Chazal. When I wanna singing brings me to Tisha B'Av, and we'll yet sing songs this evening. We'll sing songs and bring ourselves closer to this day, this incredible day called Tisha B'Av. But I want to learn this Gemara with the Chevra that, really, to me, when I think about Galus and Geula, this Gemara brings me places. Amar Reb Yehuda Amar Rav. Reb Yehuda says the name of Rav. Maise bibnoyu bita Reb Yishmael ben Elisha. There's a story with the son and daughter of Reb Yishmael ben Elisha. Reb Yishmael ben Elisha, apparently, in the story before, it seems he was... There's a story before, it's probably the same Reb Yishmael ben Elisha, and it's a beautiful story. Maybe we'll get to that on Tisha B'Av. But it says a story of the son and daughter of Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha. Shenishbu l'shnei adonim. They were captured by two masters. These two Jewish children, a son and a daughter, and two Romans captured the two Jewish children. They're nishba l'bein hagoyim. They're captured by goyim. The story of Argalus, the guy capturing the Yid in the power and captured by two Romans. It so resonates today, lest somebody say, to me, it's a story of today, where a Jewish boy and a Jewish girl captured by goyim, controlled and captured by a guy. It resonates throughout the Galus. That's the story of Galus. That's Liyamim. Over time, this davgu shneim b'makom echad. These two owners, each one had an eved and a shifcha, a Jewish boy and a Jewish girl under their power, and the two owners come together b'makom echad. Zeh omer, and one says, "Yeshli eved she'en ki yafya b'chol ha'olam." I have an eved who there's nobody as beautiful in the whole world. He's makir in this eved that he controls, in this eved that he dominates, but he's makir, there's something about this eved. En ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. I've never seen anything like. He senses something in this yid. This eved, he's supposed to be the dominating one. He's controlling, and yet he sees in the eved she'en ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. There's something precious. I can't explain it. There's a beauty in this eved. I've never seen anything like it. En ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. V'zeh omer. And the other one says, Yeshli shivcha. I have a shivcha she'en b'chol ha'olam kulei ki yafya. There's no beauty like her, and I haven't seen anything like her in the whole world. Amru, and they say to each other, these two goyim, bayim and nesiyim zelazeh, let's marry them to each other. V'nechlik b'vladais, and we'll split the children. The guy themselves that's empowered, it's always remarkable. We're such a small percentage of the world, the Yid. The Yid is such a tiny percentage of the world. Some guyish YouTuber was interviewing people. A bacher told me, was asking in Manhattan, I think. He was going around asking, there are 8 billion people. How many do you think are Jewish? The numbers people were saying, 4 billion. Half the world's Jewish. Some people say, no, it's only 2 billion Jews. The Goyim, they were asking random Goyim on the street how many Yidden there are in the world. It was a Goyish YouTuber. Did anybody hear this? A bacher in Yeshiva told this to me. Did anybody hear about this? They were asking around 4 billion, 2 billion. I think the guy said the lowest number asked by anybody was 2 billion. That's only a fourth of the world. They'd be shocked to hear our smallness of our numbers, Kifi, the Goyim themselves sense, because if you see a Yid, it's like meeting 10 million people. A Yid, the guy sees it. The guy sees she'ein ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. There's something there. There's something there. There's something about the Yid. In proportion of a Yid, of what a Yid means, to the point that the guy told me, I think he said that 2 billion was the lowest number, that random Goyim were asked that they guessed. They would faint. The numbers are so small. They would faint if they knew, are we 0.01 of the world? Not a fourth, well, way less than 1% of the world, way less than 1%, 1 out of. They were guessing 1/4 of the world. We're way less than 1%. But the guy himself senses there's an ummah, there's a nation that means something. They're the nation of Hashem. We're called the Banim of Hashem. There's a barrier, a different barrier, a different creation. People try to analyze, is a Yid, it's nothing to do with smarter or smarter. It's nothing to do with that. We have a different soul. Practically, a Yid has an neshama that's different than a guy. Goyim are precious. But a Yid, study it. A Yid is a different neshama. It's a different barrier. A guy is precious. A guy is Tzelem Elokim. A guy is to be respected and treated wonderfully. You're not allowed to steal from guy. It's asa daraisa. Don't ever take a penny. A human being, a Tzelem Elokim. Chavivin Adam shenivra b'Tzelem. But a Yid's a banim l'Hashem. It's almost insulting. As a Yid smarter, it's not a thing. We smarter, and nothing to do with smarter. It's not a thing. A Yid is a banim l'Hashem. It's a child of Hashem. A Yid is entrusted with a soul to be a light onto the nations. Is the banim l'Hashem. Only on a Yid is that called a ben Hashem. A child of Hashem has a soul. And the guy who owns the Yid, you would think the dominant one, you know the nature, you look at your Eved, you have to work on yourself. If you have an Eved, you have to work on yourself. The person's the hired to work for you. It's an Avaida. Not to see him as lower. It's an Avaida. I've seen people that when they have a waiter or something, they automatically look down. The person's running and working for you, and you have to knock it off. It's a human being and you have to work on that. But the tendency, the instinct of somebody's working for you and slaving for you, certainly the tendency is to look down. And this Adain, these two Adainim, who they have an Eved who's completely batal and a shivcha, and yet they're both nishtaimim. They can't, instead of the typical of subjugating and seeing as low, the guy himself is makir she'ein b'chol ha'olam kulei ki yafya. The two adainim say to each other, Yesh li eved she'ein ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. I have an eved. I've never seen the likes. It's a different human being. I've never seen anything like this. When they speak about beauty and something shining forth, something's coming out, something deep from deep within is coming out, and the guy sees it. I've never seen somebody good looking like this. She'ein ki yafya, of course it expresses, it means in the physical, but it comes from a very deep shirashim. She'ein ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. I'd never hear the Yid is at a place, they're avadim and a shivcha to an adain, and yet the adain themselves, the almost ridiculousness of the situation is so gullusy, is kulay gullus, the ridiculous of the situation. The youngster who's watching YouTube, I'm mamish picturing the guy. This guy is the youngster watching YouTube, I picture. He's an Eved mamish, he's an Eved to an Adain. He's completely owned by a Roman Adain. An Adain who's shakua and physical. He is the Yid. He's a Yid, and he's owned by an Adain. He's completely dominated by an Adain. The ridiculousness of the situation. And the Adains, two Adainim are talking about, we have this Eved. I've never seen anything like this. She'ein ki yafya b'chol ha'olam. Nothing doesn't make sense. There's a backwards world going on. So the two Adainim say to each other, Amru bo v'nesiyim zel lezel. Let's marry. Let's make a shidduch hazeh. Let's get them married. V'nechloik b'vladais, and we'll keep their children. Somehow, if we could have more of them, but they'll become part of us. V'nechloik b'vladim. Somehow, we'll get their children. We'll divide. We'll split up the children. Somehow, we'll bring them to be part of us. Somehow. They're so precious and so amazing, but we can get them somehow. V'nechloik b'vladim. He himself still has like a separate from us. In the story, of course, but don't read Gemara so literally. In the story, of course, they get more children, they get richer. But there's something so much deeper going on of nechloik b'vladais. Of in this person, I can't capture him to be one of us. But let's marry them off and let's sort of produce them, but they'll become part of us. Let's get them, let's bring this to us. This is Tif Galus. Instead of the purpose of going into Galus is that which is true and good by the Goyim should be elevated, should be brought, there should be gear, there should be an elevation. Here what the Roman Adain says is let's let the Yid marry each other, nechloik b'vladais. Let's take the beauty that's there, Spitz Galus. Let's take the beauty that's there and bring it to us. Let's somehow capture that which is so pretty, that which is so big, and let's bring it to us. Tif Galus. Hichnisam l'cheder, and they bring them to a room to pollute, to take that which is beautiful, that which is gorgeous. I'm reading our days. You're reading our days. We're reading. This is exact. It's so. The mashal is so precise to everything of today. He puts them in a room. Him and his cell phone, mamish. And says that which is gorgeous, that which is beautiful, that which is precious. Nechloik b'vladais. Let's remove it. Let's bring it further away. Let's capture it. Let's get it more of it to the Adain. Let's get more nechloik b'vladais. They bring them l'cheder. They bring them to the privacy of the room, and here, this is so reverse of what's supposed to be in the world. What's supposed to be in the world is the Yid who's elevating, the Yid who knows what's true, and he's building up. Everything becomes bigger. A water slide becomes holy. And in the world of Yadus, in the world of sincerity, of service of Hashem, that which is foreign becomes elevated. That which is distant becomes pure. A basketball court's a holy place in the world of Avodas Hashem. Friends are bonding. Friends are being closer. People are it's so beautiful to watch the guys run last night. It's like the hefech of this Gemara. It's like the most spitz Galus story you can imagine. This is the most spitz. This is Galus. This is the exact story. The Adain, the beautiful Yid Shein B'Yafya, and he's an Eved it's just Galus. It's just wrong. And the two Adainim, the two forces say, let's put them in a room and we'll divide the Vladais. We'll take all that beauty and profane it. It should be further and more distance. Zeh yasha b'keren zav zeh. Zeh yasha b'keren zav zeh. And they're each, these two precious Jewish children, are each sitting in the corner of the room. Zeh Omer, and one of them, the man says, the young boy says, Ani Kayim ben Kahanim Gedolim. I know who I am. Magically and mystically and supernaturally, he remembers who he is. He doesn't say, I love that he doesn't say it's usher to marry a shivcha. He doesn't say it's usher. He's not from a world where it's not right. My Rebbe's going to be mad at me. My mama's not going to be proud. That's not what he says. That's not what he says. He says, Ani kayim mekanu gedayim. I know who I am. A guy came here this past Shabbos. He could have done Dvarim Asurim, and for weeks he thought about doing it. There was something this Shabbos he could have gone to, a festival, Dvarim Asura Memesh. And he found the strength and he came to Sulam for Shabbos. He said, might say Shabbos, he said, I didn't know the last few weeks, it didn't feel right to go. I had a lot of turmoil inside of me. He said, it's just not me. It's just not me. I'm not built for that. I'm not built for that. It's not, my body's allergic to that. It's just not me. It's not right. It's not what I'm built for. I feel it. It's just not me. And in this room, this is it. This is when Geula happens. This is when there's a backward situation of the Adainim saying that let's take that which is beautiful and let's get it more ugly. Let's nech like bivladais. Let's strip the beauty. Let's use that beauty to go the wrong way. Why is it beautiful? What's beautiful? It's beautiful because there's sincere service, because the physical is serving the neshama. It's beautiful because what matters is the service of Hashem. A Yid has a nishmas Hashem. That's what's beautiful about the Yid. That's why his physical is so elevated. And yet the guy says, let's get him further away. Let's bury the neshama more. Nech like the vladais. This is precisely what happens. This is not a story of Golus. This is Golus itself. They're sitting in that room and they're being pushed to be further away from that which makes them beautiful. Nech like bivladais. The Adain wants to strip away the kaiches more and bring it to other forces. And in that room, and this is Geula itself. This is Geula itself. This is the end of Golus. It's just not me. I'm a kohen ben kahanim gedolim. I feel myself. I know who I am. Esa shifcha. Should I marry a shifcha? It's no shaykhis. It's not shaykh. That's not who I am. V'zay seimeris. And she says, sitting in her corner, she feels it. She, in the darkest room in the world, in a room that's trying to literally pull the Yid away from everything that they are, and they're tempted for the Yid because of who we really are. And Zay Seimeris, and she says, Ani Kaihanes Bas Kahanim Gedolim. I know who I am. I'm a Kaihanes Bas Kahanim Gedolim. And Nasei LaEved, I should marry an Eved. Ubachu Kol Alayla, they cry the whole night. They're Boiche Kol Alayla, and they're crying the ridiculousness. They're crying, this doesn't make sense, the situation. This doesn't make sense. There's right to be Boiche on this. Alzani Boichia, on this we cry. They're Boiche Kol Alayla, the ridiculousness of the situation. Kivan Sha'olam Rashachar, but when you Boiche like this, Ani Kayanim Bekanim Gedolim, this? What? Doesn't make sense. And they're Boiche Kol Alayla, and of course that causes the Amr HaShachar. The rays of light come. This brings the Amr HaShachar. It brings the Geula. It brings the rays of light. Hikiru zeh zeh, they recognize each other. V'naflu zeh zeh v'go b'b'chiyah. They hug each other and they cry. Until they were nifter together. And on these, on Benu Bas, Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, the Navi Yirmiyah said a kinna, he said a wailing, Al Eila ani b'chiyah. On these I cry, Eini yardamayim. On the loss of these precious souls, my eyes fill with water. I have nothing to add to the Gemara. I don't have anything to add to the Gemara. I don't think anything needs to be added to this Gemara. But I think in studying the sugya of what Golus is and what Geula is, I think this Gemara is a kedai aschal into the sugya of Golus and Geula. And I think when the Yid chaps, is boiche kol alayla and says, this is ridiculous. Ani koyim ben kanim gedolim. I know what I am. I know the source. And the world sees my beauty. The world sees who we are. They see there's something here because they sense a soul could be sensed. A soul could be seen. We could see it. We could sense it. We're used to neshamas. Every once in a while, you have a guy amongst us who you like, everybody senses a big soul. The Goyim are not used to neshamas at all. Around any Yid, a Yid struggling, the guy senses. That's why the numbers are so exaggerated, the sense of influence. When you hear in the world, there's a logic to anti-Semitism. You hear in the world, the Yidden are dominating. The sense that there's so many, the sense they're so dominant, they're seeing something. It's not just a milsa b'loi svara. It's not us against the guy. The guy is precious. That's not the sugya. It's not the sugya. Even Tisha B'Av, when we're talking about Churban Beis HaMikdash, the sugya is not the guy. The sugya of Tisha B'Av is not, all the people who heard us. It's not the sugya. The sugya is the Yid who's nishbal bein hagoyim. The sugya is the Yid who's captured bein hagoyim. The sugya is the sugya of what's captured, of what's hidden, of what's precious about us. And that it's meshubed to the wrong things. It's being sold for the wrong things. And the sugya is the Yid who says, Ani kayim. The geula is the Yid said, Ani kayim ben kehanim gedolim. Esel l'shifcha. Ani kayin es bas kayan. What was the lashon on her? Ani kayin es bas kayanim gedolim and naseh le'eved. The sugya is the Yid is yaira tif what he is and what his mission is, and the guy is wonderful. As the Yid is steigs, he elevates the whole bria. He gets busy with what he's supposed to get busy. He finds what's deeply inside of himself, what's the most true place. He elevates, and of course he's an elevation to all the Goyim. As he's supposed to be, we'll have our Beis HaMikdash, all the Goyim will come. They'll all come. The sugya is not the Goy. The sugya is what the Yid understands. That's our sugya. This Gemara that this is the geula comes when the Yid stands in that dark room. When the Yid in the dark room, alone in the room, says, Ani kayim ben kan v'dam. It's just not me. That's geula. I saw last night, say Shabbos, this bach, I saw a shtick geula. I saw geula. That's geula mamish. That's the rays of light, the Amr HaShachar, slowly the rays of light that are coming ever slowly, that as Yidden chap, Ani kayim ben kanim gadol, it's just not me. But they have to be, that's the world we're talking this summer, about being honest, what's us, and real. There's a sugya in the world, don't be shallow about it, there's gender identity sugyas. Don't just dismiss this. What's happening? We never heard of such things. Whoever, people are clearing, am I a boy, am I a girl? It's deep things going on, Rabbi say, deep stuff. Don't be a shallow guy. Don't mock. People are in tremendous sorrow. There's very deep things going on in our dar. You could get cynical. What? Do you know what a girl is and what a boy is? Do you know who you are? Do you know what it means to be a man? Do we live up to what it means to be? These are deep sugyas of identity of people, and we're getting it. In a dar, it exactly points to what a dar is asking deep things. We're no longer robotic. You have a generation, the chitzonius could be crazy, there's just a nutty, people are nuts today, it's gone, the world's gone mad. The world's getting to very pneumistic places. In a generation, we were saying, who am I? What am I? It forces me to say, what's a man? What does it mean to be a man? What does it mean to be, what does that mean? Identity, it's becoming a world. What does it mean to be a husband? I'm a husband. It's what I am. I'm a father. I'm a tata. These are real things. What does it mean to be a tata? I'm a father. An unleashed father. I'm a tata. These are deep, deep things. We're going to very much highlight Rachel Imenu. We're very much going to highlight on Tisha B'Av, Rachel Imenu. We together as a Chabura sing Kol B'Rama. We sing it twice a year, on Dani and Eli's yard side and on Tisha B'Av. Then it's not that those words Kol B'Rama Nishma, the Rachel Imenu crying Rachel Mevaka Baneh. Rachel Imenu is in the Ishbitser's prayer. You know what it means that she cared for her sister? It's the deepest prayer maybe that was ever uttered in the world. We explained that prayer from the Ishbitzer. Prayer is not just you say something, Hashem, you think, prayer is, what do you mean, Hashem? I don't understand it. My friend is sick, he should have it for Hashem. You brought out your pneumius, you brought out your soul. Rachel Imeinu was chas on her sister is the most profound prayer in the world that unleashes Ada Yoim Hazeh, we have Rachmei Shemayim. Because she cared for her sister. She gave up her husband. She gave up eternity. She gave up being the only Ein B'Yisrael. She now is a co-wife. She gave it all up because a person cares for her sister. That's the deepest prayer. Ad hayoim hazeh, Hashem es Rachmanis. If I care so much for a sister, your kids are much deeper than a sister. It's the most profound. Kaviyachal, it's a tzayid b'fib, it traps Kaviyachal Hashem. Hashem has to be mirachim on us. The most profound voice ever of Rachmei Shemayim is she was good to her sister. I beg guys to be good brothers. I'm not asking to be frum and be a good brother. I'm asking you to be human and you. To be a good brother. I'm not saying like go home and act frum. I'm saying be more natural. When I watch Chaim care for his brother, Shlomo was there. That's natural. That's what sometimes we forget natural. We're trying to be stark. Knock it off with being stark and take your little sister out to eat. Your sister, the rachamim of a sister, the rachamim of a brother. We have a generation that's asking, who am I? Don't be shamed for being a generation. What a weird, it's not a weird generation. People are really asking. They're not willing just, well, I was told. So people are asking identity questions. Who am I, Tif? You speak to somebody who's struggling with identity. All of a sudden you ask yourself, so what does it mean? So what am I? I'm a Yid. Do I know what it means, a Yid? I'm a Yid. What's a Yid? A Yid has an neshama. These are deep, deep places that our Dar is asking deep questions and wants to get in touch with deep places. It's the Dar that's going to bring the Geula. That's going to bring the Geula. It's going to find the deepest places. This is the generation that's going to stand up and say, I have figured I've gotten in touch. I know what I am. Tif, I know. I found it. I've discovered after all this time, I've finally seen what I am. This Gemara, this beautiful Gemara that highlights in that cheder, the Eved and Shefcha who understand who they are, this Gemara, and then the Pashat Amar HaShachar comes from this. I'd like to sing the song that Hashem, the Hachana for Kabbalah Satira. It seems rather funny. If you didn't know this Gemara, you'd find it funny that before Shavuos, Kalish, you're mixing up Chagim. We're Erev Tisha B'Av, and you're singing like a Shavuos song, but I want to sing Va'atem Tiyuli Mamlechas Kehanim. In that cheder, in that dark, dark room, that Ani Koyim Ben Kehanim Gedolim. V'yatem tiyuli mamlechas koyanim mamlechas koyanim v'goy kodash v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kodash mamlechas koyanim v'goy kodash v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kodash mamlechas koyanim v'goy kodash v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy V'goy kadosh mamlechas koyanim V'goy kadosh V'yatem teyulei mamlechas koyanim V'goy kadosh V'yatem mamlechas koyanim mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh v'yatem teyolei mamlechas koyanim v'goy kadosh. The world we're describing of Geula, that pasuk, Ki karev elecha davar ma'od, that would be, in any world of Geula, that pasuk would be like the national anthem. Ki karev elecha davar ma'od b'ficha b'vavcha la'asaysay. It's in you. Ki karev elecha b'ficha b'vavcha la'asaysay. It's in there. It's in there already. It's bringing out that which is b'fnim. Gullus, we look at Gullus like this external thing, and then like people say we're not shaykh to Tisha B'Av. That's nonsense. That's stupidity. That's the same world that we're like all like empty, broken, and God like mess. He didn't mess up. It's all right there. B'ficha b'vavcha la'asaysay. A kid, I promise, can come as cynical as he wants, as upset and angry as how are we going to? It's not. It's better. It's chatzi better because it could organically. Eureka! All of a sudden, the guy falls in love with that. It's there. It's all there, beautifully there. He has to access it. It's very, very close. And the sugya of Churban is gufa. It's right there. It's right there. It's not something weit from us. There's just, we're trying to bridge a gap inside of ourselves from that place that's craving. There's a neshama. Hashem didn't miss on any yid. Each yid has a neshama that only wants taiv, that only wants the service of Hashem as chiyus, from that which is good and that which is taiv. We have unique souls with unique ways of bringing kiddush shamayim, unique stations we all have, unique places to be mekadosh shamayim. What our guf is, where our place of operation, how our place of operation. This one makes chairs from the world, and that's how they bring out beauty in the world. Kiddush shamayim. This one blows up slides, and that's how they bring. We each all have unique stations of Kiddush shamayim. But there's a soul that all it wants is to be godly. That's all it's interested in, every single person. And Golus is when we're not in touch with that thing. Golus is when the beautiful Yid, who's beautiful because of what's inside, and the Yoifi is captured by the Adain who wants to move it further away. We went to Golus to be Maila, that which is far, and bring it close, and they want to take that which is close and make it far. That's Golus. That's Golus. We're very shaykh. We're shaykh to connecting and relating to Golus, and we're very shaykh to Geula. It's very part of our world. Any world which cares about Geula, ki karev elecha davar ma'id. When a bus pulls up in September, my dream is a guy to find what's in B'ficha b'lvavcha l'asayse, that he should know what's inside of him. B'lvavcha l'asayse. B'ficha, externally you can be connected to Yiddishkeit, b'lvavcha l'asayse. Those words, b'lvavcha, that it's shayach, you could be deeply connected to Avodas Hashem. Shayach. We're designed, supposed to be very checked into Avodas Hashem. I love watching the guys pray in the morning. There's no system, program of coming on time, no checks and X's. Nobody gets prizes for coming. Just guys praying to their Creator. And a guy comes and pushes and comes to davening. He's praying to her Creator. It's done other days. It's not, that was a generation. That was the way to do it. The stark and what was your attendance. Those days are done, my friends. We're a generation that's looking for identity. Ani tefillah, David HaMelech identifies, I'm a davener. It's an identity thing today. I'm a davener. I pray to my Creator. I b'chiyus, I'm praying my Creator. We're very, very shayach to tefillah, to Torah. We were built right. We're certainly shayach to a day of Tisha B'Av. There's never a generation that's more shayach to Tisha B'Av than our generation because we're feeling more. I don't know how early Adairis, if they were struggling with feeling, I don't know, Tisha B'Av must have been very, very complicated. Must have been very complicated. I don't know how you do it. Void, be stark, and then you make sure, guy makes sure, read the whole book. There's no book until this, there's no word how much you read of that book, I promise you. There's no word. Guys, I remember guys come here are we reading the Kinnis book? Read one, read a half of one, read none of it, read a little of it. There's no word of the book. There's no word. Zero. The book is different people's way of connecting to Kinnis. There are many Kinnis that different. We'll read 5 of them, 2 of them, 1 of them, 6 of them. I don't give a flip how many we read of them. That's not what Tisha B'Av is. That's not what we're doing. We're going to it. What's going to happen is the halacha is tonight and tomorrow till Chatzos are the most intense periods of the Avelis. So there, I asked the guys shouldn't be vaping. Then other things, typically tonight and till Chatzos, typically there's an intense, very intense period of focus on void. We live our lives. We're very positive people, and we focus very much. We have so much construction and so much taiv. And that place of disconnect from our existence to our soul, we know there's a disconnect to there. We know there's a serious disconnect. And normally we focus on building and construction with our body and trying to tap our souls into what we do. And we normally don't focus a lot on that disconnect. To Hashem, to Avodas Hashem, Hainu, to our own souls that are completely davak to Hashem. And then there's a time of mourning where we do mourn for Churban Beis Hamikdash, for that distance, for that place. We do tap in, and we it's a very honest day. It's a very, very honest day, and we're very capable of. We live. We all, our Yetzirah of our dar today is that we try to do Tisha B'Av every day. Knock it off. There's a Zman Nisogel, but the focus on that void, on that distance, that very much lives inside of us. Very much lives inside us. The void, that gap, that schism between that which is true, that which we crave, Hashem. That's Geula, living in that place, what we crave, who we crave to live with, and the distance and that gap is that's Gullus. That gap is the Gullus. And on a day that we're very, very focused, the Iker time, this Iker Zman of the Avelus is from the onset tonight. We'll begin at 8:25. Tomorrow we'll sit down, we'll sit here, we'll talk, we'll think, we'll be together in a way, but each person will have time. Don't catch up, don't keep up. There's nothing to keep up with. You'll hear thoughts that can help the mind think, and then you'll think yourself. You'll sit here, we'll be in the room together, we'll sing some together, we'll talk some together, we'll even read some stuff together. We'll read some Kinnis, we'll read a couple on it. There's no vert in how many you read. You finish the book, there's no, you don't get a prize when you finish how much of it you read. It doesn't really work that way. The key thing is till Chatzos. After Chatzos, we get the Minig Yisrael as we sit on chairs, the Avelus lessons. Then people could vape, People, the Avelis, that's the style of the day. The Avelis lessens up. There's actually some good feelings that are built up on Tisha B'Av. Some very deep, it's a very holy day, very precious. When Mashiach was born, Tisha B'Av, I promise, has nothing to do what date he's born. It's not like, oh, he was born. Don't be such a literalist. It's not no shit. I don't know. It's not what it's saying. It's not what Chazal are. They're not communicating birthdays, Chazal. They're saying that it's there, that we're in touch with that Mashiach is born, that Gula comes. In that place, in that dark room, the Benu Bas Reb Yishmael, there Mashiach is born. There Mashiach happens. Zeh Oimer, from the depths, from that place, the person calls out, Anika. I think we have the possibility. I hope this Tisha B'Av that you and I call out, Anikayim Kehanim Gedolim. What the bleep. When we're sitting on the floor, you look around, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's not right. It's not right. I'm bigger than this. I'm shaykh to bigger than this. When we call out from that room and we say, Ani Kayim ben Kehanim Gedolim. When we call that out, Mashiach was born. I hope Mashiach's born. Be'ez Hashem, tonight and tomorrow, Mashiach's going to give. This is the birth of Mashiach. It's a very beautiful day. There's nobody here is asking why it's called a Mayid. You will not have that kasha. Anybody who's been here in the past, of course it's a Mayid, because it's the start. A Mayid means two people are coming together. So of course we're coming closer to Hashem. That's a Mayid. There's no question. Now being in touch with that void, with that gap, of course, creates a mayid. Together, we're going together, separately and together. I say together, yeah, we're going to sit together. There's a together. There's also a part that has to be done alone. It always fascinates me that you're not allowed to greet another yid. In the sugya of void, there's a certain loneliness, a certain place it has to be alone. We definitely, in shaking hands and hugging, that could cover something. On a day of void, we can't hug each other. Guys, come. I want to give the guy a hug. It's Daniel alone today. Alone today. He's alone and you're alone in a certain way. We'll sing together. We'll be together. But we'll also be inside. So that will take place tonight, 8:25. We'll meet here. We like starting with a little bit. We'll sing songs that we only sing Tisha B'Av and bring ourselves to the day. We'll study some Torah together. We'll daven Ma'ariv, have kinnis tonight. And then tomorrow morning, we'll together, sit together, talk together, cry together, and try to connect to the day of Tisha B'Av that gives birth to Mashiach. That will be our Avodah. Chaim, if you could start Ki Karev. Ki Kara